Welcome to this Folk That Thunders Off Air. My name is Amy Gomberule. Today I have a lovely guest, Simba. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you, Amy?
I'm actually amazing. You look good, by the way.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Today we're at the Love and Relationship series. I wanted to ask, what were the fundamental things that you got from the series that you just had?
Wow, that's an interesting one. I think the first one was just realizing how severe the situation we are in is, and just getting to know how other guys are dealing with the same situations. I think for me that was the biggest takeaway, because sometimes it's easier to think you're getting lost in the mud by yourself, but when you then hear the same people sharing their problems and how they solved it, I think for me that was the major takeaway.
Amazing. So I wanted to also ask, one of the key issues that we raised tonight were how social media is sort of like playing a role in how people go about their relationships. What advice would you give someone who lets social media play a role in their relationship but not to necessarily dominate the relationship? How would you advise them?
Wow, that's a hard one, but I'd say social media is here to stay. There is no way it's going, but I think we need to find a common ground and go back to the fundamentals that make up a relationship. Because I think when you look at social media, we can use TikTok for example. It's an interest-based algorithm, so it's going to show you more of what you like. So if you're a girl, you'll see if he doesn't bring 10 roses on the first date, then he's not the right one. And for guys, we're told if you double text, she's not the one. So by the time we come to a relationship, it's already men versus women, you should do this or not. And I think people should also realize that people behind these algorithms, they make so much money from this men versus women thing, and it has nothing to do with us. I always say the best example is how our grandparents made their relationships. There was very little to no influence from the outside parties, but just focusing on getting to know your person as a person, not being told by social media how to look at your person. So that would be my take on that.
Oh, great answer. So yes, on that notion of like your grandparents taking part or using their way of being in a relationship, what's your take on arranged marriages?
Well, I think I'm an old school guy, and I'm a big fan of those, because like they say, if it's not broken, why fix it? Because if you look at our generation, most of our grandparents are still together, or at least they were separated by death. And of course there will be exceptions to that, but generally speaking, over 90% of them are still together. So that model worked, because when you grew up, you already know this is my person. And I know for my generation, we say we want our freedom, but from the results, as they say, numbers don't lie, it looks like we don't know how to use the freedom, because we keep choosing what's not good for us. Clearly it's not working. So I think the pre-arranged marriages now work, because that illusion of options does not affect you, because when you are choosing, you always think the grass is greener on the other side, which is not always the case. I think finding a good person is ridiculously hard, and it's getting harder as each day passes.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much for your time. And I would like to take like what you just said on the grass being greener. I do believe like what you're saying, like the grass is greener only if you water it, right?
Exactly. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Thank you so much, Simba, for your time. And yeah, it's a wrap.
Thank you so much.
Okay.